So celebrities are the new priest, right? Even activists, they become the new, politicians, because anybody who has sway and influence, you're considered to be, right, a part of the republic. You can be a part of the republic that sways people one way or sway people the other way. But Roman generals and warriors and emperor, they would come to the republic because they had to be in line with those who had sway and influence over the people. So when you have this sway and influence, it's not just Caesar just coming and saying everything that must be done. Caesar has to be aligned with the republic. He got to talk to them as well. Hey, priest and stuff, I need you all. This is what I want to do. So he go and talk to them, and then they go and sway the people, and that's fine. Or they can sway the people against the Caesar, and it becomes dangerous for them. So you got to look at the governments, and the way that these governments have been set up are based on republic systems. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that we are a democracy. Nowhere in the Constitution it says we are a democracy. This is the brand that people put on it. So I'm just giving you the game. I ain't making no decisions or nothing. So Malcolm X once famously said, if democracy means freedom, why aren't my people free? If democracy means freedom, why aren't my people free? Think about that. I just want y'all to just ponder on that. Because influencers, and by influencers, I'm naming everybody that has influence, whether you are an activist or revolutionary, you are a politician, you are, a TV-born influencer, which is what they consider to be a celebrity with more sway, or you're a person that got your influence through the medium of utilizing the internet or social media. It's all a category of influential people. Deities. So this is important. Like, you have to understand that all people of influence are in the same category, and there is a fight for the mind of the 85% who are in the middle. So there you have the mass amount of people, then you have people of influence and power. And the whole world is a fight between the people with no influence and power, the people who have it, and which ideas that they push on those people. And those ideas are then the product that is reality. Everybody thinks that they're right. Everybody sways people to different sides. When we go through processes of recession, that's when nationalism is higher. People take pride on who they are because they have less. So you start to play sides of different people. So it's like, it wasn't until I believe the 1600s that the word white was created, because white people looked around what's called modern day white people, and they realized that, if we don't group everybody into one, we're going to lose. Just think about this. This to me is such a powerful idea, that you have Irish, you have Jewish people, you have, Romans, Greeks, Italian. They were never, ever, ever united. So when you say white people, you actually using a term that is more empowering for them. But when you identify different groups, it's doing exactly what they did to us, separating us. Right? But see, theirs was like, no, we need to just put everybody under white, because then we start to have majority again. So America is not broken down in, okay, what's the percentage of Irish? What's the percentage of you're the Christians or the Catholic whites or the Jewish whites or the Italians. No, it just said white people. So when you walk around and you see these people, you collectively look at them as all one team. So when they realize, like, wait a minute, these black people are about to outnumber us, let's bring this under one. So now their goal is, well, let's bring in a new mixed version of white. This is just reality. I'm just giving you the game based on the consensus. And if you are a person that's strategizing, trying to figure out how to maintain power, you probably do the same thing as well. But see, it worked in the opposite for us. So even when you look at white America, it's broken down in different categories. Who are the most successful? Which ethnic group of white America is the most successful? Which ethnic group has the most power? Which ethnic group has the most influence? Then you come down to lower systems and you say, who actually have statistics that are closer to ours? These people are poor. These people actually have no power. These people have no influence. So it was the rich whites that convinced the poor whites that they was all one and they had the same interest. And it fooled them. Oh, listen, man, people might not like it. You know, I wouldn't even plan on coming on here. Somebody said you got that pimp talk. I don't know what the hell that means, but don't ever come on here and say nobody got no pimp talk. You could just leave. Don't even make jokes like that because I hate pimps. But this is why you got to look at it. And this is why when you see certain white people that, you know, you got to ask people, what's your background? Like, you can't even categorize just black and white anymore. You have to ask, what's your background? Who are you? You do. So if some of you all have white friends, ask them, what's your background? See if you find commonality. Like, oh, I actually get along with these group of Europeans different than I get along with these group. But when you say just white, you now create a blanket generality, right, on all these different ethnic backgrounds who are now being given a color code to go as. So when you look around, it feels like you're outnumbered, but no, you have to understand who is the shop owner, who is the landlord, who is the politician, who is the person that owns this, that, and the third. Give yourself breakdowns. See reality for what it truly is. Because really it's broken down in different teams. If, well, this white person, well, they're here. These are white Jews, let's give them the color red. These are white Irish, let's give them the color green, right? These are, you know, white Italians, let's give them the color yellow or something. So now you see these are actually different teams. These are different squads. It's not all the same. Some of them they eat different, come from different geographical locations, right? They got different vibes, energies, and belief systems. But it's dangerous when you just walk out and you just see white people and you say, oh, that's the majority. Which group? Same thing with black people, right? If you got a label and you say, okay, why? Which black people are the most conscious? Where y'all come from? What's y'all religion? What are the ones that stand up for us that we love the most? What's the language that y'all speak? Right? Where's, you know, what's your values? So now you start to identify the differences within the tribes of who we are. Now everybody knows, you know, it's the brothers that we love the most. A lot of them come from the nation. A lot of them are Muslims. Some of them Hebrews. Some of them are Israelites. Some of them are Christians. Some of them are Catholics. So you start giving a breakdown so that when we say black men, no, let's talk about which ones. So now you can also see which ones are being excluded and which ones are being included. Which ones that the system liked the most. Oh, how come it always seen the brothers with this background always on TV, always get the deals, always get that? It ain't enough to see a black man up there. What about the ethnic breakdown of these people? We got to start seeing reality for what it is. That's all I'm asking. You're going to find some trends. You're going to find some trends. So when you see somebody of my ethnic background gain success in any category and field, it's against all odds. Listen, statistically, there is no group of people in America that has it worse than a black man. That's just statistically. Everybody isn't a Moor, though, isn't that, Aaron? But I agree with you. It's a great term. But everybody isn't a Moor. We can't put a blanket on everybody because then that's an ethnic group as well. But I agree. I think that black is becoming an outdated subjugation of the way we should classify each other because it doesn't get to the reality of America. I understand the legal definition. I understand the political reference. I understand the spiritual reference. You got to be able to see things for what they are. So I don't want to create names that get us to fight more. No, they have to be terms that get us to respect the differences of who we are and to work accordingly based on those differences. That is the key. That's the key. So when I see my brother, you can call yourself what you are. Well, okay, now what's your value, your religion, your language? What are those things? So I can respect who you are. And then maybe, you know, the things that you believe may not be the things that I believe, but I respect that you do your thing. But now let me work with those who do have the same, right, ethnic background, because this is going to be easier. So when we start talking about uniting, whoa, wait a minute now. You can't just unite under a color. It's not how it works. You have to unite based on beliefs. This is why it hasn't worked. So what, we got 12 tribes? Well, identify what tribe you're a part of. Identify which one you're a part of. Who do you believe in? Now, when those groups get together, they can all come together and be like, okay, what do we want to do? This is the neighbor. This is how we want to run our neighborhood. Well, brother, we don't like that. Well, y'all take over there. We take over here. Well, you know, we're not mad at this agenda here. This is how we think about sexual beliefs. We don't think of it the same way. Well, okay, well, then we'll just be different over here. We don't have to forceful dominate everyone into our beliefs. This is the way people done it historically, where they killed you for having a different belief. Because if you do something to where I feel like, you know, my daughter or son should grow up in this type of environment, and you do something to go against my belief system, right? Now we got an issue. Now there's war. I seen a picture of, I guess she was a popular news anchor, and she was out there in Qatar, and she didn't respect the boundaries that was set based on the ethnic beliefs of the people in that environment, saying that you can't wear what you want to wear. You got to cover up. So she decided to have her breasts out, legs out, shoulders out, all of these things. So she said, I'm a Christian. When y'all come over, we respect y'all shit. And we ain't got to respect none of that. Now, this is dangerous. First of all, it's dangerous because you can get locked up. You can get killed for it. You got to, you know, if your country decides to create a rule, especially if you have a Muslim country, it's different. Every country is different. America's a melting pot. It's not a Muslim country. It was founded based on Masonic and Christian beliefs. The Bible comes, or the Constitution comes from the Bible, right? So that's the template that it was written off of. But if I go to a Muslim country, I'm going to respect it. Why? Because I'm not trying to go there to change the beliefs of those people. I'm not there to disrespect these people in a way that they live. That's how wars are started. So now imagine somebody assaults this woman because she don't respect those beliefs of those people. Now there's an issue. Now there's problems. It's the same thing when we go to different places and we're dealing with each other. We don't learn how to respect the beliefs of each other. Oh, you a black person, you're supposed to do this, that, and the third. But they come from a different tribe. They got a different ethnic background. That just means that you separate and you find where people that are of your same background and you rock and live with them. It's no more war then, because everybody is in agreement. It's how we supposed to live. It's how we supposed to move. It's how we eat. It's how we talk. It's how we speak. We have enough diversity just within the black community. But we don't respect the beautiful coloration of the black community because we call it black, I guess. Maybe that's why. But it's actually different colors. Within the melanated community, we actually different colors. Same thing with white folks. You see them yelling. They've been going at war with each other. The French at war with the British, the Greeks, and the Romans, and Italians, and the Irish, and the Phoenicians, and all these different people. They've been going at war with each other all this time with other white people. But there was a time, now you just call it white, and we're confused on what the world is. Look at Ukraine going to war with Russia. That's not white on white. That's the Ukrainians, and those are the Russians. Those are different. So you can't overclassify things under simple umbrella terms, because then you can't see reality for what it is. This person is fighting that person's beliefs. They believe that they supposed to have a geographical location. They believe in this politics, this religion. This is how they've settled. So it's hard to even understand, but once you get that, a clash of ideas and beliefs and systems create war. So I'm not voting for somebody because they black. You got Warnock and Herschel Walker that's going up to be voted for in a runoff election in Georgia. Who do you vote for? Whichever is the most aligned with your beliefs. It don't matter if they're Republican, don't matter if they're Democrat. It's whoever is aligned with your beliefs from your ethnic background, not from your racial background, because they both black. So Democrat ain't a religion, or it is. It's not a race. So therefore, you can't make a decision based on that. Nah, whichever one is, I have more of a conservative viewpoint, right? So therefore, I don't like all of the weirdness that go on with this new push. So if I don't participate in the process of voting, because that's just my decision, right? My thing is I vote for myself. And I've been voting for myself this whole entire time, and it's been working for me. Right? So if I vote for myself for 2023, and I'm saying, listen, 19 Keys is my president, speaking of self, right? What you go get me? I'm making a vow to you. The same way you vote and you make a vow to somebody, I'm making a vow to you. I vow we're going to increase your health. We're going to increase your wealth. We're going to increase your physical power. We're going to increase your influential power. You understand me? You got all these things. Like, these are the things I'm voting for myself for the year. I'm campaigning for myself. I give myself that power. I don't give it to nobody else. And now what happened if the people, it don't have to be in politics and the government. We can vote for people that we just believe in. That's it. Well, what you going to do if we put our confidence behind you? Let's say you're using, just using myself as an example, right? Or EYL, or, my brothers with Oasis, and whoever you want to think of, right? Because let's say, well, listen, we going to put our voting power behind you. Now, we can vote with our dollar. We can vote with, our energy, our time. What do we need? So you say, well, what does a politician offer you? Now, today they offering crap. They offering stuff like abortions and all kind of stuff. Like, it's not even any good offers up. It's not even no good offers up right now. They don't even, the Walmart sales sound better than that. You understand me? Walmart sound better than that. They ain't even got no more good, politicians ain't even got no good offers no more. Niggas ain't talking about reparation. They talking about creating health facilities in the hood, ending food deserts, right? Teaching financial literacy. They ain't even got no good offers. They be running on shit like abortion care. That's your financial literacy pitch to me? Come on, man. That if you got better access to abortion, then life won't have the same strains. That's your pitch? They ain't even got good pitches no more. Politicians used to be good salesmen. They ain't selling shit no more. So it's like, fuck, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you for that? I don't even want that. No, like, where's the actual the real tangible shit? They don't have no tangibles, and they be like, well, we gotta get in and get the tangible. Nigga, you ain't never getting in there, because I gotta hear something real. Like, it ain't that hard to go through the hood and see what the problems are. And then create solutions based on that, but nobody wants to actually have to make a vow to the people that, listen, all right, when y'all put me in office, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. Because then they're gonna have to be tied down to those promises. So politicians are doing it based on like an influencer campaign now. They no longer doing it based on real life tangibles anymore. You got to pay attention to the psychology of how the dynamics have changed. They're not pitching. They not. Back when I was younger, I used to hear politicians actually selling me stuff. Now they just attack each other. And then they hire influencers or celebrities, activists, because those are just all influencers to me. Whether you gain your influence on the internet, whether you gained it through TV, whether you gained it through being a musician, an artist, it don't matter to me. All the value you have is your influence capital. It's a marketplace of ideas going at war with each other. That's all it is. And they, they don't be liking me when I say some real shit. But so what? They get campaign dollars to continue to push out problems. But this is why when you get brothers, like what we doing with Oasis, what my brothers are Earning Leisure doing, what we doing at BWO, average campaign, right? Let's look at what the average campaign costs. People be like, why y'all need money, right? The only difference is I'm about to give y'all a cold breakdown. I'm about to give y'all a cold breakdown. Ooh, this is about to be good. All right, let's look at the cost of elections. Let's go to 2022. So, all right. Oh my God, it's so high. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not gonna like some of these numbers. Let's just talk to them. Let's talk about it real quick. Oh, this is the presidential election cycle. Presidential race, they can't even tell you all the way. Damn, this number got a lot of zeros in it. This is a lot of zeros. So they got to break it down based on congressional races and presidential races. Ooh, this presidential race gonna be probably the most. Yep, it's gonna be the most expensive in history. So it's broken down at 2022 projected costs. Let's start with how it was in '98, because every year it's becoming more expensive. Now just think about what can actually be done with that. This is just real life, because you know what I mean. Let's start from 2014, right? The cost of the election, based on the congressional race, $3.8 billion. 2014, it went up to $4 billion to $5.7 billion. To 2020 to $8.7 billion. 2022 projection, $8.8 billion, or almost $8.9 billion. Right? The presidential election in 2020 was $5.7 billion. Now let's go break it down and look at. Let's look at something else. I want to look at the cost of even smaller, because there's so many billions spent just to try to get people to vote. Just to get you to vote. See, this is the average campaign costs. They say the congressional campaign collectively approximately $4 billion and dispersed $3.8 billion. Political parties received $3.2 billion and spent nearly $3 billion. And political action communities, which are PACs, raised approximately $13.2 billion, $12.9 billion in a 24-month period. Now, when you're talking about political action committees, so there's only one group in America that don't have a political action committee, and that's Black America. So think about this. When you look at campaign costs, how do they get paid? How do they get the money? So you get a corporation can raise funds. These funds are used so that the interest of that corporation is installed in the candidate that they want to put up. Right? So let's say you're a gun lobbyist, right? So the lobbyists are the ones that work for the political action committees, and they talk to the politicians. Listen, we can give you, $500 million for your campaign, right? Hold on, we about to go through it. You have, it's a presidential candidates raised and spent $4.1 billion in 24 months of 2019 to 2020 election cycle. According to campaign finance report filed by the Federal Election Commission that cover activity from January 1st, 2019 to December 2020, congressional candidates collected approximately $4 billion and dispersed approximately $3.8 billion. Political parties received $3.2 billion and spent nearly $3 billion. And political action committees raised $13.2 billion and spent $12.9 billion. Now, some of the biggest ones are like the gun lobbyists. You got LGBT, you have ADL, right? So they got some of the biggest, you understand me, PACs in the world. Raised approximately $13.2 billion and spent $12.9 billion in the 24-month period. Disbursements for independent expenditures reported in this period to the commission totaled of $32.8 million, $22.7 million, respectfully. Then, of course, you have Big Pharma, who are crazy PACs. You understand me? But most of these things are won by what? Money. So you're going to be loyal to the voters, or you're going to be loyal to the money. So think about it. If I'm able to give you money that represents my interest, right? My corporation, institution, or, you know, just corporation or institution, right? Who you gonna be loyal to? Because when you want to raise more money, who you got to come to? Now, there are some people that remain independent that don't pay campaign dollars. You understand me? Now, political action PACs call them all the time to try to get them to take those dollars, and they don't like those kind of people, because when you stand on it like that, you understand me, then that's when you can be integrable and you can actually do real things. But when you take the money, then that's when you are beholden, right, to the agreements that come with. So let's just think about it. I think that the greatest thing that groups can do is become lobbyist groups. Then when you put the money behind it, then you put the voting power behind it. So I don't think that voting doesn't have power. I think that there's a missing step in the way that we push voting that has not been given its proper due, right? So if the money is directly correlated with the voting, game changes. That's just what I believe. It's a political party committee. National, state, and local political party committees reported combined total receipts of $3.2 billion in federal funds, disbursements of $3 billion, debts of $51 million, and cash on hand of $238.8 million as of December 31st, 2020. Of those totals, party committees other than the two major political parties reported receipts of $7.2 million, disbursements of $6.